welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World, and today we are roasting some plus size fashion from brands this year for their holiday collections. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with most of the stuff coming out from brands. There are a couple of things in here where I'm like intrigued. There's one thing that I'm like, please stop me because I know this will look bad on me, but I can't help but be intrigued by it. And so anyway, if you like any of these things, that's okay. You're allowed to have a different opinion, but these are just my thoughts and opinions, and please don't take it personally. But I am going to very saltily roast all of these like 21 items. So yeah, I'm pretty much anti-hauling all of them. And this is gonna just be like a grinchy, anti-haul, roasty, toasty thing. So grab your marshmallows, grab a drink, and let's talk some trash about some clothes. All right.
Okay, so this dress is not particularly offensive in that it's just really basic, but what I don't understand is why it's so basic. It had so much potential. Like, instead of using this hunter green belt, they could have used, say, a metallic, like, sparkly silver one. They could have done, or an actual, like, metal belt. The houndstooth also is a little bit confusing, doesn't really make any sense, not sure why it's there, because houndstooth really is more of like a daytime sort of like business. When I think of houndstooth, I think of like Chanel pantsuit chic, like that's what I think of. I don't think holiday, but I mean, I guess I can kind of see where they were going with it, but it just doesn't really make a ton of sense, you know what I mean? um, I just wish that there was some kind of I just wish that there was some kind of sparkle or some kind of something to set this apart. It just looks terrible. This next one, it honestly looks like somebody tried to make a Ren Fair like dress, but then they stopped like halfway through instead of like doing the additional stitching with like the gold thread or the silver thread or like whatever other accents they were going to use, that they just like stopped in the middle of it and then ended up with this weird nightgown looking crazy like it looks like the great value version of a Renaissance fair dress. That's what this looks like. It makes me so angry. Also, the bell sleeves are way too big. Like they're not tapered enough at all. It just doesn't it's too flowy and it's a sack. It's a great value Renaissance sack. That's what this is. And in addition to that, Lane Bryant has like jewelry. This they're selling this for like $40, like $39.95 or whatever. It is not worth that at all. Normally their quality is okay, but honestly, you could get the same or better quality at Old Navy for like literally half the price. And even then, if you've got a couple of strands of like pearls and a gold chain, you can recreate this yourself by just knotting it together. Like that's all this is. This is chains of pearls and gold knotted together in a somewhat artistic fashion. It's not really that complicated. Not $40 complicated. This next one makes me so upset. Okay, if you are a woman who is in your mid 20s to early mid 30s, David Bowie made you feel feelings when you saw him in Labyrinth. That was the first man I was ever attracted to, and I feel like this is such a disservice. If you're gonna slap David Bowie's name on something, his face better be there. David Bowie is iconic, and like really, you're just the name. That's all you're doing. Like, did you just not want to pay for the licensing fees? Is that what this was? Because David Bowie's like face, his makeup, his aesthetic is just completely legendary, and to have something that bears his name but not his face is just an insult to his memory, and I'm not here for it. This next one, I honestly like Why are y'all out here trying to make us look like shiny, hefty, hefty, hefty bags? I don't understand. This is just not cut correctly. It's made from all the wrong material, and it's just so lazy. It's so lazy, and I'm so tired of people trying to force plus size women into believing that shapeless bags are what is going to be in style. Now, you might say, but Stephanie, this isn't shapeless. It has like a waist tie. Waist ties are the lazy equivalent of not wanting to cut a pattern to fit someone's body. That's like saying, oh, well, look, here's just a drawstring. Like, here's a sack and here's a drawstring. Do with it what you will. And that's not okay. This is just a shiny, hefty bag with a drawstring. That's all it is. And I'm not here for it. This is actually something that I would want. The only thing that made me kind of side eye this was that it at the top of the page it said mystery sale with the code or whatever. So this is, I think, like, I don't know, 40 or 50 bucks for a sweater, which is kind of outrageous, but I can kind of see with the draping and like where they actually did cut this and make this for a plus size body. I can understand, the extra work that went into it. But here's the thing. Why are y'all having mystery sales? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, if you want to put a thing on sale, put it on sale. You want to say, hey, I want your email if you want this code, fine. But I don't want to engage in a sleuthing adventure to find out how much a sweater is going to be. Like, it irritates me so much and to no end. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just tell me how much the thing is. Just tell me. Just how much money do you want for it? These are actually like pink palazzo pants. I actually really like the shirt in this, but the shirt wasn't the one that they were selling. It's the actual pink like palazzo pants. Now, to be fair, I don't like palazzo pants because I'm 5 feet tall, and if I wear palazzo pants, it literally looks like I'm drowning in fabric. I just don't have legs for it. Like, I don't. The color is pretty on these. I don't think they're cut very well, though. I think they're cut a little too baggy in the like front area, especially for this person who doesn't have like a lot of front like belly apron. But these are just a little too wide. I feel like if they were just a little bit more tapered, that it would look so much better. I'm not a huge fan of this pattern either. I feel like if you're going to go with a really bold sort of satiny color, then it should be something that is either really like clean and simple if you're going to go this bold. But I can kind of see how this sort of etched pattern would bring texture and interest to a piece. But I feel like this much fabric of it just doesn't look right. This. Oh, this. So here, this was like, let's take a mock turtleneck, the worst of all turtlenecks, and let's make it so that it feels like a barbed wire on your neck, because you know that those sequins are going to be so itchy. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, Stephanie, but the sequins are on the outside. How could they itch your neck? Believe me, they will find a way, and it will feel like barbed wire on your skin, and you are just going to hate it. Now, had this been a regular turtleneck where you could just like turn it down, then that would be different. But that, like, I can guarantee you that the top thing on that neck is going to just, oh my God, it's going to irritate so bad, especially if you have like a little double chin. It's just going to irritate you so much. It's just going to. And let's look at the discount Jessica Rabbit dress here. All right. No. This is, again, a incredibly lazy I don't know if it's surplice dress. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's surplice. But look at the feathers on this. Now, imagine you're at a party. Like, I know we can't go to parties right now, but let's just pretend that we can actually go to parties. You're at a party, you're at the punch or the dip or the whatever, and you go in, those feathers are, no matter what you do, are gonna get dirty inside of a dip, a drink, a whatever. It doesn't matter. Had they made it like just the furry cuffs but not like feathery, then that would have been okay. But why are we taking bourgeois elements into holiday? Like, this is so 1997. I don't understand why we're doing this right now. Um, it's not practical. It doesn't make any sense, and I need them to stop. I feel personally attacked by this because I used to love those little pens that had feathers on them. Like, that's where that kind of stuff belongs. Like, if you remember Clueless from the 90s, she had those like pens that had the like feather tops on them. I love those things. They're fantastic. They're really fun. But it doesn't belong on a dress that you're going to have to like actually move through the world in. Yeah, it's just terrible. So, also, this balloon sleeve brocade shirt is, no, it's a dress. I I feel like this is a thing that you would see in a movie where they were making fun of like high fashion, and it rightfully so. This poinsettia atrocity is just, I don't know who needs this. Like, maybe if you're like a bodybuilder and you've got like huge like biceps or something, and maybe you need this much room, but it looks kind of ridiculous. Honestly, it looks like a, you know, those like sumo wrestling things you put on to like fight each other, but like they blow up so that you don't hurt the other person. That's what this looks like, except the Christmas version. I don't. I, honestly, I kind of want to see two people in this dress fight each other, but like the blow up version, like the sumo wrestler version. I want to see that. I would I would pay money to see that. I'm not gonna lie. I would. So this is where they actually did puff sleeves right. So puff sleeves, you always want to have like that little puff at the top and then maybe like some shearing down the side, because what you don't want to do for a bigger body is make it look bigger than it needs to. Unless that's the aesthetic you're going for, I guess. But most people, like most plus size people, don't want to accentuate the parts of their body that are already larger. So this is the mullet of blazers. This is actually the back of the blazer with this huge oversized bow. It looks like somebody is cosplaying Sailor Moon businesswoman. That's what this looks like. I also, I feel like the bow at the back isn't, it's like droopy. It doesn't look, it's not the kind of, like, if I was going to do this, right? It's not the kind of bow I would have used. I would have used something that was really like a little bit stiffer and something that was going to kind of take the test of time. This looks like a weird moth wings. I don't know. Also, the color, I would have used, like, if you're going to go full businesswoman cottagecore, why isn't this a bright pink bow? Um, because this kind of is too pale to really make like a huge difference. I don't understand why this is. Someone make it make sense. And this is the front of the blazer, right? So it just looks like a normal blazer in front. But you can see the bow kind of peeking out on the other side. Now, if I showed up to a business meeting and I saw the front of this person, I'd be like, okay. And then they turned around to leave, it would ruin any sort of confidence I had in that person at all. Not because it's a girly element or because it's a feminine element, not because of that, but because it's just not executed very well. What I think would have been a much more interesting selection would have been to make the lapels in the front more bow-like, and maybe even have like embroidered bows on them. Okay, and so this next one is just like, hey, Torrid's coming out with their grandma collection. This is just a. I don't understand what the obsession is with plus size companies with florals or mixing florals with cheetah print. I feel like those are the two things that shouldn't ever go together, but for some reason, this is like a thing. It's so just it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it drives me insane because neither one of these things looks good, and it doesn't look good together. Like I don't like it. Uh, if you're gonna do this, I feel like there needs to be so much shape and so much structure to a garment to not make it look like a flowy weird potato sack. And this just looks like a flowy weird potato sack shirt that they had random fabric and were like, okay, let's just throw some floral on it. This is grandma tie dye on vacation. It's just it's a tie dye dress and it looks fine, I guess. I just don't understand tie dye culture. I don't get it. And I'm not saying that all tie dye is bad because like for a casual look, which this obviously is supposed to be, that's fine. But I feel like there's more interesting tie dye patterns that could have happened. Like I feel like if you're gonna go tie dye, then go like full tie dye. Like go with the radiating like ripples of color. Like do that. Like just kind of if you're gonna have a theme, commit to it. Is what I'm saying. Oh my god, I totally forgot to do the voiceover for this one. Okay, so this one is just a liquid metal dress. It looks like something you would use as a base dress for like a Ren fair or a cosplay or something like that. You'd have to add so much other accoutrement to it to make it work as any kind of Ren fair or any kind of like princess cosplay or anything like that. But it's so simple, and I guess that's maybe the appeal of it, but it's way too expensive for what it is, and it just that this isn't going to last. This material looks so incredibly cheap, and it's going to be thin, and it's just not going to work out great. This is actually one of the things. So it's a sparkling mini skirt with like multicolored sequins. I kind of want this. I kind of want this, and the thing that made me put it in here is that like there's not a place where I would ever wear this. Even if I was like, even if we weren't in lockdown, we weren't in COVID, like that didn't happen. Like, where would I wear this? Like, you can't wear this to work. Wear it like maybe every once in a while out to like a night out with the girls or something like that. But in your mid 30s, that happens so like you just get so busy, it doesn't happen very often. But I still like it aesthetically. Also, this other thing is this is the Minnie Mouse sweater. Um, I legit want this sweater. I want it so bad. It's adorable and cute. The only thing making me not buy this sweater is that it's $65. And my frugal little heart will not let me purchase this because I know it's going to go on sale. I would rock this so hard. I just would, but it's $65 for a sweater, and like that they only paid the people who made it like 5 cents an hour. Like they did. I I think it's adorable though. I love Minnie Mouse. Everyone tells me when I get angry I sound like I'm Minnie Mouse. So this is from Nordstrom's Rack. This is a what I call the 3-hole special, where and no, it's not that not don't get your mind out of the gutter. This is where you have 2 sleeves and a hole for your head, and that's it. That's the dress. And there's no other redeeming quality to it. It's literally just a potato sack to put on your body so that you are not naked. And I feel like for most people, naked would be preferable to this. I would rather see naked people than see someone wearing something this blasé. I mean, honestly, it would just be more interesting. It's I I don't know how. So a lot of times you'll have these like higher end brands, especially like at Nordstrom's Rack or these like kind of bougier brands, where they'll get away with this because they say that they're doing like simple basics, or they're doing like, you know, the essential parts of your wardrobe. And nope, this is not essential. None of this is essential. It's just lazy. It's just you as a brand not putting any time, attention, or care into the clothes you make for plus size people because you don't think of plus size people as consumers, you just think of them as an afterthought. That's what this is. Also, okay, this was the thing I was talking about in the intro where I know this wouldn't look good on me, but I kind of want it. Like, I know that these colors, so this is like a really yellow and like red and blue shirt, right? I actually really do like the cut of this. I wish it was in different colors, but a part of me is like, oh, that could work with my skin tone. Like, that would be okay. But then the other part of me is like, bish, no. Like, it's clashing with itself. Like, it's going to clash with you. I feel like if this, like, chartreusey green was just a little bit more green instead of yellow, that it would work so much better. So I'm, like I said, I put it in here because I know that I would not be happy with the coloring, but I kind of still want it. It's so strange to me how there are things that you know aren't going to look good on you. Like, you just know it. You know for a fact they're not going to. And then you're like, I kind of still want it though. This is not one of those things, however. This looks like a this looks like a rug that your aunt like did. You know the people who like make rugs like as a hobby? Like that's what this looks like. And not even like a good one, like some one of them done by like an amateur person who doesn't know what they're doing. It looks like a Wayfair rug. That's what it is. It's not even like one you get in an antique shop. It's the one you get from like Wayfair that's like a mass produced weird but like kind of off center one. That's what it looks like. It just is not a like the reds and the blues and the it's it and the do you see that negative space like right in the middle, like that way too much negative space? Like, does that bother anybody else or is that just me? Okay, all right, fine, it's just me, but that's too much negative space. Just so we're aware, just so you know, that is it's offensive. It is truly offensive. All right, lovelies. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, for roasting these products. Like I said, if you are someone who likes any of these things or owns any of these things, I think that you are just fine. We have different tastes, we have different opinions, and you know what? Convince me I'm wrong. Convince me I'm wrong, and let me know in the comments down below if you actually did like any of these things and why, and maybe there was a perspective I hadn't thought of, but I cannot wait to see you in the next one. I hope you have an amazing day and have a really happy holiday season.